So today I'm demoing a classical guitar for sale. This is a 2017 classical guitar by Canadian luthier Douglas Scott. Check out the link under the YouTube video so you can see HD photos of the instrument and the full specs and everything like that, as well as the price of the instrument. What I'll do today is I'll show you the guitar and I'll talk about the features of the instrument and why I like it so much. And then I'll take the camera off the tripod and do some close-ups of the instrument. This will allow you to really get to know this instrument. And I've demoed a number of guitars on the website before. And the point is that you can learn about new instruments and luthiers from the videos for free and just learn about classical guitars. But if you're interested in purchasing an expensive guitar by a luthier, this allows you to really see the instrument when it's already built, because this is currently available. So it allows you to see the instrument, and also I only demo guitars that I really like and that I'm very interested in. So it has my full approval. And in this particular case, I like Doug's guitars so much that I've ordered one myself. So I have a new Douglas Scott guitar coming for me in February. So this really allows you to see his instruments, and if you're thinking of buying one, this is an excellent choice. So, like I said, let's go over the features of the instrument a little bit, and then I'll play a few pieces on it, and we'll do a little close-up of the instrument. So this instrument is an Italian spruce top, and it has a curly Bosnian maple back and sides. Really, really beautiful workmanship. That's one of the great things about Doug, is that his workmanship is pretty impeccable. It's such clean work and nice finishing. Let's show it from here. So it has an Amazon rosewood bridge and bindings, and the back panel as well, and Honduras mahogany neck, Madagascar ebony fingerboard, French polish is the finish. It's a 650 millimeter scale length with a 52 millimeter nut, which is the standard classical guitar size. And it also has one of the best features, is an elevated fingerboard. So I'll do a close-up of this later. Elevated fingerboards on modern guitars tend to be actually like a sloped top. So what it does is it slopes the guitar down this way here, so that you have greater access to these upper frets. This is a feature on modern instruments that I think is incredibly important. I would never order an instrument today without one. It just makes playing up here so much easier, but it doesn't really change the traditional aesthetic of the guitar. So you get all the traditional looks of a classical guitar, but you get this access to the upper frets, which is indispensable, especially if you're doing any barring in upper positions or something like that. It's just very, very helpful. And so, like I said, I wouldn't go with a guitar that doesn't have one. It also has that high C, which is really nice, very important. I just played a piece where I had to play a couple of things on a high C and even a high G there. So that's a nice feature as well. So one of the great things about this instrument, like I said, is the workmanship. But another thing is that the design is very traditional in the sense that it's a solid top with a fan bracing of Doug's design. And but one of the things about Doug's guitars is that they have an incredible pop to the sound. So they really project, and they have a really great response. Like when you play a note, it really just pops out of the texture. And I've played on a number of his instruments before, and they have this. I also play in a trio and a duo with a colleague of mine who has one of his instruments, and I'm always impressed how well it projects in the concert hall. Like, it really cuts through everything and reaches the listener. And maybe one of those reasons too is that it's a very well balanced guitar across the strings. So you don't get too much bass or too much treble. It's kind of like everything is very even sounding across the strings. But because of that pop and projection, it's always easy to bring out a melody on the instrument. So when you're playing something with accompaniment and bass and melody on the top area, it's really easy to let that melody pop out, which is a feature of many modern guitars that doesn't seem to happen. Like a lot of instruments that I've been playing, the mid-range and the low end of the guitar really overpower the melody quite a bit, and you just don't get enough projection out of that first string. First two strings in particular. But on Doug's guitars, I find that you really do get that. And that's one of the reasons that I have one on order, is because I want that kind of balance and projection and pop. It's also just easy to play when the guitar is pop. You don't have to dig in as much. You can just like really get that sound. So how he does it, I'm not sure. But this particular guitar is very loud. It sustains incredibly well. It also has a very pure sound. Probably because of the combination of spruce and maple. This guitar has a very, very pure sound, and I'll play it in just a second here. So that's a little bit about the instrument that you need to know, or you'd want to know. It also has a 12-hole bridge, which is great and pretty standard on all modern instruments these days. But I think that's pretty much it for features. But like I said, check out the website for the full list and specs of everything. Now, I'll play a few pieces for you, or just like little excerpts of pieces. But just one thing to keep in mind is that I'm in a small reflective room right now. So it's quite a small room. It's very bright sounding. So through the microphones, this might not be the most accurate caption of the guitar's sound. You probably need a hall for that, or a larger room with more like reflection panels and stuff like that. So I would tend to think that through these mics in this room that the guitar is going to sound a little bit brighter, and maybe the balance will be off a little bit just because of the EQ through the microphones. So just keep that in mind, that we're in a small room and it's not the ideal sound conditions, but nevertheless it allows you kind of to hear a little bit of the instrument and how the melody might pop out from the texture nicely, and just you get some of the balance that you need to hear from it. So as you can hear there, one of the nice things is that melody is popping out really nicely. Hopefully that's coming through those microphones and the rain and the squawking bird outside. But that melody is so easy to just pop out with that A finger. It just pops really, really nicely, and that's one of the great features of an instrument at higher levels, is that kind of ability to bring out a voice very easily without as much effort. Really nice there too, like that pure sound, but also the pop. It's so clean and just warm and sustaining sounding. if it's coming through the microphone, but it has a very, very nice, smooth, pure sound. Clean sound too. Especially when playing chords like across the strings, it doesn't get muddy at all. Really wide range of sounds from tasto to staccato. So I have the camera off the tripod now, and we'll just do a little close-up of the instrument. There's lots of glare in this room, so you'll see the lights, but this will give you some kind of idea. There's the label, and the beautiful rosette. The nice 12-hole bridge. I am right here. And the headstock. Tuners. Let's take a look at the raised fingerboard. Here's the back of the instrument, the beautiful maple. The back of the headstock. And so there you have it, the 2017 Douglas Scott guitar, which is for sale. So check out the link under the YouTube info section, and find the link to the photos and the full specs and price of the instrument. But it's a beauty for sure.